as we come together to discuss an important initiative focused on improving safety on Maine's roads. Maine Turnpike Authority is supporting a bill to launch a 3-year pilot program using automated work zone speed enforcement in active work zones on the Maine Turnpike. The pilot is designed to protect both workers and drivers by reducing speeds and improving safety in these high-risk areas. After today's press conference, we invite you to join us in the Hall of Flags to learn more about this legislation, to review our Maine-specific study data, and provide us the opportunity to answer any questions that you may have. Before we begin, I'd like to ask everyone to join me in a moment of silence to honor James Brown and Dwayne Campbell, 2 Maine DOT workers who were tragically killed in a work zone just earlier this month. Thank you. This heartbreaking loss of our colleagues at Maine DOT is a powerful reminder of why safety must be at the forefront of this legislation and why there is an urgent need for action. We have several speakers with us here today who will share their perspectives on why this bill matters, why now, and the impact it can have to save lives. Speaking today, we welcome Dale Dowdy, Acting Maine DOT Commissioner, for a little bit longer, Kelly Flagg, representing AGC, Associated General Contractors, Senator Brad Farron, and Representative Lydia Crafts, both sponsors of the bill, and Executive Director of the Maine Turnpike Authority, Andre Briere. Each of our speakers will share brief remarks, and after their comments today, the speakers, as well as other representatives, including someone from the Maine State Police, will be here at the front and available to answer any questions or provide individual interviews. So, with that, please help me in welcoming our first speaker, Dale Dowdy.
Good morning, everyone. First, I'd like to thank Senator Farron, Representative Crafts, Senator Pierce, Representative Albert, Mason, and Ray for the forethought to sponsor this bill. I got my guy falling here. There we go. I'd also like to thank our transportation partners statewide, some of which you'll hear from today, next actually, and some that are standing behind me. Special acknowledgement to the Maine Turnpike Authority, Andre and Aaron, for taking leadership position and forwarding this bill and carrying out the pilot if it's successful. Thank everyone for their support in the wake of our loss of 2 of our family members and 2 more that were injured. The outpouring across the state has been somewhat overwhelming and continues. It just doesn't seem to stop, which is a wonderful thing. They were out on the street, out on the interstate, making repairs to a bridge joint. Bridge joints are the place between a bridge and the land where they join. They just take a lot of pounding. They were out there for you and me to keep us safe. Most of the people that are out there to keep us safe. Let's all keep that in mind. Our Maine DOT family feels this deeply. We're a big family. Today I was going to cite a bunch of statistics. I'll leave that to those that speak after me, and hopefully at the work session when we speak. But the loss of our colleagues is personal and not abstract. They were not numbers. They were family men, friends, co-workers, and teammates. All of those things, and they did not go home that night. They are the starkest reminder of why work zone safety matters to both workers and the travelers, both. If you've never stood on the side of a highway or a bridge, much less the interstate, with traffic zooming only feet beside you, you cannot imagine the feeling. The thin concrete barriers, cones, and even an attenuated truck seem inadequate at times. but contractors, Maine DOT, municipalities, utilities, and more. Thousands of men and women are out there every day on the roadside doing the people's business all year round. Many of these people are out there much more than I am, but I can tell you, for me, I've been hit by cones with a speeding truck of whom I knew the driver, and someone who should know better because they're on the interstate. So we all are susceptible to this. Safety means workers going home at night. It means you going home at night. It's a shared responsibility between workers, policymakers, but the weight of the responsibility is with you and I every time we get behind the wheel. I want to facilitate over the next year a broader discussion about speed and inattention in work zones, but today is about one critical element. It's about LD 1457, a key step in protecting workers. It strengthens both Maine's ability to raise awareness, as the key part, and also manage speed in work zones. Yes, it improves enforcement and compliance, but it will quickly bring attention to the issue of work zone safety and driver behavior. It makes clear that work zone speed limits are not optional. It treats work zones as public safety, not simply a transportation issue. LD 1457 is an essential tool to bring a higher level of attention to speed and inattention, helping prevent future tragedies. Our workers, the public, deserve every safeguard we can afford them. Together we can make work zones safer. Together we can save lives. And remember, they're out there for you. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Kelly Flagg, the Executive Director of the Associated General Contractors of Maine. I represent the brave men and women who are standing behind me today. We're here to talk about something that should never be controversial, keeping the people who are standing behind me and their co-workers safe. Every day across Maine, construction crews are out on our roads and bridges, repairing pavement, replacing guardrails, improving drainage, and doing the work that keeps our state transportation system functioning. These aren't abstract projects. These aren't abstract people. These are real people, parents, neighbors, veterans, young workers just starting their careers, standing only a few feet away from traffic moving at highway speeds. And the reality is this: speeding in work zones puts their lives at risk. National data confirms what our members experience firsthand. According to the 2025 Work Zone Safety Survey conducted by the Associated General Contractors of America, 6 out of 10 highway contractors report at least one crash into their work zone in the past year. Nearly 1/3 report 5 or more crashes. These are not all fender benders. Some are high-speed crashes that injure workers, drivers, and passengers, and in some cases are fatal. What's driving this trend? Speeding and distracted driving remain among the leading contributors to work zone crashes. Too often, drivers fail to slow down when the lanes narrow and when conditions change, and when workers are clearly present. For the people on the ground, that danger is constant and takes a real toll. Our annual survey shows that safety concerns are contributing to stress, burnout, and workforce shortages in an industry already struggling to attract workers. When someone heads to work not knowing whether the next speeding vehicle could change their life, that's not just unsafe, but completely unacceptable. This isn't just a worker safety issue, it's a public safety issue. When a crash happens in a work zone, it affects everyone. Traffic backs up for miles, emergency responders are put at risk, and families on both sides of that windshield suffer those consequences. That's why this bill matters. At its core, it's about changing behavior. It's about sending a clear message that work zones are not optional and safety is not negotiable. This isn't about punishment, it's about prevention. It's about accountability and about recognizing the rules of the road need to reflect today's traffic speeds and volumes. I will just note there are some great signs behind you all that indicate some of those work zone speeds. You should take a look after this press conference. Work zone safety has been and will continue to be a topic our industry works to improve, discusses with our policymakers and agency leads. and is core to our belief that we can and should always strive to make improvements. These workers deserve to go home to their families at the end of the day. Drivers deserve to arrive safely at their destinations. Emergency responders deserve to return home from every call, and communities deserve roads that are both functional and safe. You'll also notice spread around the room, there are silhouettes. Those represent the 16 workers that have been killed in work zone crashes, and unfortunately the addition of 2 more represented in front of me on this table. AGC Maine urges lawmakers and the public to support this effort, not because it helps our contractors, but because it protects Maine people. Slowing down in work zones saves lives, stronger safety policy saves lives, and if we can prevent even one family from receiving a phone call that should never happen, then this work is worth it. Thank you for your time.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Senator Brad Farron, and thank you for being here today. Thank you for all being here. I'm sure many of you have been out for the last 48 hours keeping our road safe things, so thanks for being here today. I'm proud to sponsor LD 1457, and I look at Representative Crafts and thank her for being the lead co-sponsor as well. This is a resolve that will allow the Maine Turnpike Authority to conduct a pilot program using automated speed control systems in highway work zones. The proposal did not come casually. It is a result of thoughtful discussion, careful listening, and meaningful refinement. We've heard concerns about privacy, scope, and implementation, and those concerns are valid. That's exactly why this bill is structured to be a limited, targeted pilot focused only on active work zones with clear boundaries, transparency, and accountability built in from the start. You've heard the statistics today, but numbers only tell part of the story. Imagine standing beside a barrier while vehicles fly by you at 80, 90, 100 miles an hour. That's the daily reality that Maine road workers, these are skilled men and women doing their jobs, repairing our roads, improving our infrastructure, and keeping our transportation system running. We cannot keep asking them to risk their lives, to accept life-threatening risks because drivers don't slow down or don't pay attention. A mentor of mine, a former colleague, former Secretary of State and Chairman of the Transportation Committee when I was a member, Bill Diamond, always said, driving is a privilege, it's not a right. And people aren't paying attention. You can see what's going on around us recently in Waterville. And that's where we need to step in and pass this common sense legislation. This bill is not about enforcement. It's not about surveillance. It's about addressing one of the most dangerous environments on our roadways with a proven tool that encourages safe driving behavior exactly where it is needed. Safety has always been and must remain a bipartisan issue. Protecting people on our roads isn't about party affiliation or ideology. It's a shared responsibility. Every one of us represents constituents who travel through these work zones, depend on safe infrastructure, and support and expect to take reasonable steps to prevent tragedies that we know are preventable. Maine has a long tradition of bipartisan cooperation on transportation policy. Time and time again, real progress has come when we've worked together with mutual respect and a common goal. Work zone safety is one of those issues that reminds us what truly unites us, protecting workers, preventing crashes, and making sure families, both drivers and road crews, make it home safely at the end of each day. As we move forward to this session, I'm encouraged by the willingness on all sides to keep working together to get this right. Because at the end of the day, this is about something simple and fundamental. Everyone deserves to go home safely, every day, everyone. Thank you for being here today.
Good morning. I'm Representative Lydia Crafts, the House Chair of the Joint Standing Committee on Transportation. I'm grateful to be here, joined by leaders from the Department of Transportation, the Maine Turnpike Authority, and Associated General Contractors of Maine, and my colleague, Senator Farren. This group represents something important: a shared responsibility for safety on Maine's roads and a shared commitment to solving problems together. The Transportation Committee, as Senator Farren mentioned, has worked in a strongly bipartisan way to address real transportation challenges. Whether it's infrastructure investment, highway funding, or safety policy, we've proven that when it comes to transportation, Maine lawmakers can and do work across party lines. Work zone safety is one of these issues. In September, I had the opportunity to attend a work zone tour on the Maine Turnpike alongside Maine DOT, Turnpike officials, and construction professionals. Standing there next to Maine's busiest highway, you don't need statistics to understand the risk. You feel it. Traffic is fast, space is tight, and the people doing the work are exposed every single day. That experience has stayed with me. It reinforced what many of us already knew. Work zones are not just construction sites, they are active workplaces. And the people in them deserve the same expectation of safety as anyone else on the job. Our committee has consistently worked to support highway and work zone safety, building on past efforts to improve signage, visibility, enforcement tools, and public awareness. This bill is part of that continuum. Not a radical step, but a thoughtful one. Throughout this process, the committee has taken seriously the concerns raised about privacy, scope, and implementation. Those concerns have shaped the proposal into a limited, carefully structured pilot, focused only on work zones with clear guardrails and transparency. This is not about surveillance. It's about safety in the most dangerous environments on our roadways. We have also looked beyond Maine. Other states have implemented similar, narrowly tailored approaches that have seen reduced speeds and safer driver behavior in work zones. That experience matters, and it informs us on how to move forward responsibly here. As the work session continues just later today, I want to emphasize this. The door remains open for continued conversation. This committee is committed to working with our partners, state agencies, industry, law enforcement, and the public to get this right. Our goal is simple. Try to pass something this session that saves lives, that protects workers, that reduces injuries, personal loss, and the real costs associated with preventable crashes. At the end of the day, this isn't about politics, it's about people. It's about making sure that the men and women fixing our roads and the families driving through those work zones all make it home safely. That's work worth doing, and we'll continue to do it together. Thank you.
Well, good morning. I'm Andre Briere, Executive Director of Maine's Turnpike. And as you heard from the previous speakers, who said it more eloquently than I could, this is a program, LD 1457, that is tried and tested. We'll be the 25th state to pass such legislation. It's a pilot, which means it runs for 3 years, and if the legislature doesn't feel that it works properly, it will die at that point. What we're confident in is that this program will work to save lives. In the last 5 years, we've lost over 18 lives in our state work zones. Over 944 injuries, serious injuries, 3,000 crashes. This is an epidemic of speed in our state's work zones that the men and women behind me urge you to do something about. I want to thank those members who vote yes on 1457. With their yes vote, they say our highway workers, our contractors, our state troopers deserve to go home to their families each night, that their families matter. By their yes vote, they support legislation that will slow traffic, that reduces crashes. The United States Department of Transportation says states that implement this program can expect at least a 43% reduction in work zone crashes. Those are lives saved. This legislation will save those lives. As Representative Kraft said, this legislation protects privacy. This is truly model legislation for privacy nationwide of this type. We've worked extremely closely with ACLU over the last 5 months, as well as other privacy groups, to ensure that data is not retained, to ensure that the privacy of Mainers and all drivers are protected, that this data is not discoverable by any outside group. Because we don't have it, it's destroyed after 30 days. I want to thank all of the members who will vote yes on 1457. And for those on the fence, I can't wait to address your concerns during the work session this afternoon. On behalf of these men and women, thank you for your yes vote. And for all the Mainers out there, I urge you to contact your members of the state legislature and urge them to protect the lives of our state's transportation workers. Thank you.